During a tense congressional hearing, Representative Brad Schneider challenged Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on two major issues: U.S. policy toward Iran and the state of the American economy. What began as a request to clarify earlier remarks about the conflict with Iran quickly escalated into a heated back and forth over sanctions, inflation, rising living costs, and the impact of tariffs. The exchange became increasingly confrontational as both men defended their positions and interrupted one another.
Are you saying you're in agreement with the president's decision to the...
You said the conflict was over. I'm asking, do you believe the conflict's over and everything's
the
copacetic?
conflict is on pause.
So everything's good with Iran now?
No, don't be absurd.
I'm asking you to clarify.
Absurd. That as the president said yesterday, unless an American life is lost, he does not believe that he will have to restart the kinetic acid.
Okay, so I'm reclaiming my time, and I'm just trying to help you clear the record. I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Can you promise, because this is your jurisdiction, that you and the Trump administration are not considering lifting sanctions on Iran as a concession towards opening the Straits of Hormuz?
We've made it clear that the Straits of Hormuz, the blockade, is the only thing that will be lifted to reopen the straits.
So no sanctions relief whatsoever?
I'm not part of the negotiating team, but I am told by the negotiating team, and I strongly believe that the blockade will be lifted.
Okay, and I'm going to just reclaim because there's a lot of things I want to cover. My hope is you'll keep Congress informed of any such considerations if they do come up. Also in your opening remarks, Mr. Secretary, you said Americans have more money in their pockets. That's not what I'm hearing from my constituents. Are you saying the overall cost of living is lower today than it was 16 months ago when you came into office? Because what I'm hearing from my constituents is that the cost of groceries are up. For example, beef, coffee, tomatoes are at record or near record highs. The cost of housing is up. And for too many, the American dream of buying a home is out of reach. I'll let you answer. Healthcare premiums continue to rise, and millions of Americans have either already lost or expect to lose their health insurance altogether because of H.R. 1, the bill you so joyously celebrate. Energy costs, gas for our cars, electricity for our homes are all rising through the roof. And family care, child care, and elder care is prohibitively costly. Are you saying that cost of living is lower today than it was a year ago?
No, I am saying that we are much closer to the Fed's target rate of 2% on core inflation than we were when President Trump came into office. We are at 2.8%, and you can list off the most expensive groceries that have had the biggest price increases.
I think you're just out of touch with what American families are facing.
No.
As my colleague noted, I'm reclaiming my time. Tariffs are a tax on American families. This is my time, Mr. Secretary. This is my time. I will speak. And then
2.5%.
Higher grocery prices are taxes on American families. Higher gas and electricity prices are taxes on American families.
Democrats should know. No wonder so many people are leaving Illinois. Why don't you come see me in South Carolina?
They're not leaving. They're coming to Illinois. Just a simple question, Mr. Secretary.
You're saying Illinois doesn't have net outbound migration?
All right, let me take it to a different topic, and I know you don't want to address it, but my constituents are outraged and want me to talk to you about the absurd illegal self-dealing settlement between President Trump and his family with the Justice Department and the IRS over which you have jurisdiction. The administration apparently believes that there should be two systems of justice, two sets of laws, one for the president, his family, and his rich friends like you, and one for the rest of us. Nothing demonstrates this more than the so-called settlement with its slush fund for insurrectionists and tax immunity for the president and his family. Mr. Secretary, simple question. Do you believe that there should be only one legal system in this country and that no one, even the president, should be above the law?
I believe that no one is above the law, but you all have put the president beneath the law, and you have weaponized the system against him, whether it is the leak of his taxpayer records.
His taxes should never be leaked. No taxpayers' information should be leaked. I agree with you on that. But let me ask you a separate question.
Would you like to apologize to the president right now? On behalf of the...
I have nothing to apologize to this president for. His taxes should not have been leaked, but it was leaked by a contractor. And you keep trying to dissemble here and avoid the questions. Do you believe that all Americans should pay the taxes they owe and not a penny more?
100%.
Yes or no? All right. So do you think it applies to the President of the United States, irrespective of whether the president is a Democrat or Republican?
Yes.
Okay, so we agree on this, and we should have a tax system that is fair, and it should be applied fairly to all people. But I can tell you that my constituents are outraged by the agreement the president made with himself and his own Justice Department that excluded him from ever having an audit over his taxes. No one should be targeted. No one should be targeted by the administration. Whoever is in the White House.
Read the addendum.
No one should be targeted by the administration. Whoever's in the White House, their taxes should be paid, and they should be confident that that information will be kept confidential with the IRS and not used to target them, their families, or their business.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Representative Schneider opened by asking Secretary Bessent to clarify comments he had made earlier, suggesting that the conflict with Iran had effectively ended. Schneider questioned whether Bessent truly believed Iran was no longer a threat, pointing to its nuclear ambitions, ballistic missile program, drone capabilities, and continued support for militant groups. Bessent rejected the characterization of his remarks, calling Schneider's interpretation absurd. He explained that, consistent with President Trump's recent statements, military action would only resume if American lives were threatened, emphasizing that the immediate kinetic conflict had paused rather than permanently ended. Schneider then shifted to sanctions policy, asking whether the Trump administration was considering lifting sanctions on Iran in exchange for reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Bessent responded that he was not personally part of the negotiating team, but had been informed that the priority was ending any blockade and reopening the vital shipping route, while indicating he did not expect sanctions relief to be part of the arrangement. Turning to domestic issues, Schneider challenged Bessent's earlier claim that Americans have more money in their pockets. He argued that his constituents were experiencing the opposite reality, citing higher grocery prices, expensive housing, rising healthcare premiums, increasing energy bills, and the growing costs of childcare and elder care. Schneider questioned whether the administration could honestly claim that the cost of living had fallen during Bessent's tenure. Bessent responded by pointing to inflation data, stating that core inflation had declined significantly and was much closer to the Federal Reserve's target of 2% than when President Trump took office. He argued that while certain products had experienced larger price increases, overall inflation trends showed meaningful improvement. Schneider remained unconvinced.
The hearing showcased a sharp partisan clash over both foreign policy and the economy. Schneider focused on the financial struggles facing American families and questioned the administration's approach to Iran, while Bessent defended the administration's economic record by citing lower inflation and pushed back against Democratic criticism. The exchange ended without any agreement, highlighting the deep divisions over inflation, tariffs, sanctions, and the broader direction of U.S. policy.